Bonjour people and welcome back to another Transformers review. This time we are looking at Transformers Cybertron Sideways. This is one of several figures that I have accumulated over the last few months. That spontaneous Chromia one that came out was the first that I got from Leicester. This was the second, but it was only one of many that I've actually managed to get recently. But this song's a bit overdue, so here we go. Sideways this time was a Cybertronian jet of some kind, even though he didn't actually come from Cybertron, if I remember correctly. He actually came from Planet X, I want to say, along with Soundwave. Not entirely sure. It's been a very long time since I last watched Transformers Cybertron. But what would you call this? Like a stealth bomber sort of thing? I don't think it's ever said in the cartoon what kind of jet this is, and I don't have a box or anything. This is a second-hand figure, but it's really nice. It's really nice. Black primary colour with accents of silver and like a bronze running in several places, and then you've got this orange highlighting mostly on the underside. The accents there will benefit for robot mode more than anything else, but you do have bits of orange running across the top here, which complement the black and the silver and the bronze really nicely. And it's just a very sleek and sexy portrait. Honestly, it is. Cybertron had some beautiful figures from its time, and they were so beautiful that Hasbro decided to reuse a lot of them for the Allspark powers from the first film, just to bolster the ranks a bit, I'd imagine. Probably also because there were a lot of shelf warmers and they needed to shift their stock. But I don't recall Sideways being a part of those reuses. I think he's probably had some like convention exclusive redecos here and there. But yeah, he's nice. He's really nice. And he comes with a cyber key. You can see that it is the orange version. I can't quite remember if that was specifically like a Planet X sort of thing, but I know Unicron came with this sort of thing as well. You can I don't know if we will be able to see that. Let's just attempt to focus in, but you can kind of make out there are numbers on the back here. I don't know what they were to do with. There might have been like a website sort of thing where you can key in those codes and then like unlock a promotional something or other. But Cybertron was, you know, one of those lines that relied a lot on gimmickry, and if you rotate this, it's a little bit stiff to do. Tell if I was doing it the right way. You can access the gimmick in vehicle mode if you so please, where you can stick that in and, well, yeah, it would do that. But we'll show that off again in robot mode because really that is more of a robot mode feature. But yeah, that's Sideways. So looking at transformation then, we'll begin with this. You just want to fold that out all the way. And there is a plane going past. Okay. You want to be folding that back. That bears some resemblance to Thundercracker and his mould, where you would have this like extravagant arm cannon thing that would become like the top of the jet. And you just want to fold that back. And I haven't played with this figure much and I've never owned it before, so I'm a little bit rusty. You want to unplug these bits from the side and subsequently unplug the wings from there, and that will free up what will become the legs. Just bring them out, spread eagle, then we can come to the underside here and just flip that tab up and out of the way. We're going to come back around here and we're just going to rotate the arms out, providing lots of clearance for everything to get where it needs to be. Let's continue with the arms. We're going to rotate them so that the bronzish gold is facing front. Rotate that And that's basically one arm done. If we go over to the other side, bring it up, rotate it so that that is facing front. And then it's just a case of getting the fist the right way, rotating this on this panel right around, and collapsing it on the forearm. Then, let's see, you want to take these orange pieces, snap them together, and this will become the lower body. Then fold that back and bring that forward and just plug it into underside the cockpit. You can, so many kibble bits, you can now fold that back flush against the back. If we return to the legs, rotate them round, then fold the wings out to the sides, rotate that like that, and just fold that flush against the side of the leg. Take the foot, fold it, and then get a nail in and just pull that heel spur out. And that's a leg done. So try, oh, don't pull it off at the ball joint on this hip. But come round, bring that panel back, rotate it around the correct way and just sit it flush. Fold that and fold that. It looks a little bit messy to do, but it comes together really nicely. Now we're just going to reach in here, open up the cockpit. I'm going to bring his head up, rotate it, and sit it on there. Fold that cockpit up. And that should be Sideways, fully transformed in robot mode. And he's a stunningly beautiful thing. Cybertron really had some really nice designs on them. But he has a very nice profile. It's quite, honestly, it is quite streamlined for all of the kibble that was going everywhere and how clunky it all looked. Both the vehicle mode and the robot mode come out really, really nice. Yes, he has a backpack. It's not, you know, it doesn't fold up particularly well. It just sits flat against him. But the fact that it all clings really closely to his overall portrait makes it not that much of an issue, honestly. But yeah, we'll attempt to focus on this head. How well this will go, I don't know. Probably not very well at all. That's the best we're going to get. I always did get confused as to, you see these little notches there and there, whether they're actually meant to be his eyes or if his entire face is just this visor. And as you can see, him having a complete visor face and that orange stuff on his back means that in theory he should have excellent light piping. And I'm going to see if we can put that to the test now. So let's crank out a light. And yeah, you can basically see that. There's a good shot. Notice how well that lights up. Yeah. Sideways has excellent light piping. And that's good because I don't think you see a lot of light piping anymore. I can't remember the last figure from current lines that actually had any. If you do know some, write in the comments, because my foggy brain has probably just decided to omit obvious Transformers from my memory. Oh, centre of balance sideways, come on. Let's focus in on you again. There we go. Now, returning to his little gimmick. The thing about Sideways, hence his name, is that he would be a bit of a double dealer sort of character. He would throw back and forth from either side, masquerading as an Autobot at one moment and then masquerading as a Decepticon the other, whilst being sort of neutral, really. In Armada, he was a servant of Unicron. In Cybertron, not so much. It depends on how you look at Cybertron as a thing, though. Hasbro and America decided, oh, let's throw it in with Armada and Energon and make a Unicron trilogy out of it. But in Japan, Cybertron has no connection to those whatsoever. And I think it really shows. But we're going to return to plugging the key in here. And you can already see, as I'm barely putting any pressure, the Autobot symbol turning to that of a Decepticon. Plugging it in completely makes these spikes appear. So now Sideways has a melee weapon. Although what kind of weaponry this is, really, whether this is meant to be a shield, I don't think it's a ranged weapon. He never used it as such in the cartoon, from my memory. But then again, it's been like a decade since I watched any Cybertron. But you can keep him out without the key in. And yeah, just a funky little gimmick. I do wish that Transformers had this sort of thing again. I like the minicons, as flawed of a concept as it is. The power links from Energon, I like the cyber keys. I like Automorph. I like MechTech. I would just love such things to come back. In terms of articulation, Sideways, his head can go 360 degrees. He can do full 360 at the shoulder. He can move his arm out that much. He has a swivel there at the upper forearm. He can bend that much at the elbow, and his wrists can go 360 because they are on a mushroom peg. At the waist, he has nothing. His hips have ball joints. He can swing his leg up that far, and only out that far because of the back kibble. But if you were to move the back kibble up, you probably dislodge the entire transformation, as I seem to be doing. In fact, yeah, don't do that. just don't bother. At the knee, let's move his arm out of the way. At the knee, he has a very good bend, as you can see. And then he has a bit of toe articulation to complement the transformation, but also it does give him good stability. And the good thing about this Sideways is that his feet are nice and big, giving him lots of surface area, and meaning that he can stand up really well. Now, there is also a thing that you can do with these wings. I'm just remembering now. If you pull them off, I don't particularly like doing this because it makes him look a little bit naked. Plug one into the top half of his hand, one into the bottom half of his hand, and then you can create the illusion of like a double-sided sword. And then that would complement the shield look that this has, give him kind of like a knight look about him. In terms of size comparison, man, here he is next to another deluxe class, and this is I can't talk. This is Sideways from Avenger Befallen, his namesake, who has absolutely nothing in common with him. He is not a traitor, he is not a side switcher, he is just a disposable Decepticon who gets killed within 1 minute of screen time. But both deluxes, both Sideways, heads both come up to around about the same point, but obviously the Avenger Befallen one is technically taller because of all the kibble that he has on his arms and his back. But that's deluxe comparison between two of the same namesake. Moving on to a Voyager comparison, we have Dark of the Moon Shockwave here. You can see Shockwave is a head taller. And then, this will be difficult to do on camera, but I'm going to try it. Here is fellow Cybertron figure. This is Leader Class Megatron. And it's not going to be in focus, but just deal with it. But you can see Megs is a heck of a lot taller. That is just like back in the day, Leader Class figures were so big, and that is a monumental difference. There we go then. Transformers Cybertron Deluxe Class Sideways. An excellent figure. Great articulation, great paint, just great. What more can I say? He looks stunning. He is stunning. And if you have access to this figure, definitely get him, because he is a beauty to have on your shelf. So thank you everybody so much for stopping by and checking out this review. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and share it around to help out the channel. Check out the playlist of other Transformers reviews I have done to see just more little aspects of my collection. More very soon, hopefully. And until that next time, see you all later.